Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Arnes, and
my name's Steve.
Stevie's over there hiding somewhere along the way. So today, we're doing the much anticipated video, Steve, of the Figma 174 Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Da, da, da. But wait, Arnes. I didn't think this was actually the Figma one.
Shh. We don't know that, Steve, so we're going to start off as saying this is a Figma. We'll find out when we get in there, right?
No, I'm pretty sure we contacted the guy. We got this from eBay, and he stated that this was not the legit one. He gave us free shipping because we figured it out.
Oh, so we're doing like the China version Figma?
Yeah, quote unquote.
Quote unquote, people.
And we're mainly saying this is a bootleg because this is not a Figma figure. It is I guess you could consider a Sword Art Online figure, though they probably didn't have the rights to that either.
Yeah, so before we get into this, yet again, we're explaining this. The reason why we're saying that this is a bootleg, because as when I bought it, it was stated that saying that it was the actual legit Figma 174 Kirito.
Also, the packaging states that it's also a Figma.
But when you get in, you'll find out that it's not a Figma figure. It is Sword Art Online figure.
Yeah.
But it's not a Figma.
Yeah, it's not produced by Good Smile Company. And one of the biggest ways you can tell by, we'll just get into this video. Also, the main reason we got this real quick is because we had a crap ton of people requested us getting them, and we don't really collect the male characters a whole lot in these TV shows, but seem cool enough to pick up, and since enough of you guys want it, and it's not like these figures are expensive anyways, might as well. But for the packaging, kind of looks like a Figma package if you look at it, just a brief glance. Might not notice it right off the get-go, other than I wish this guy would not put so many freaking stickers on this packaging. But when you're looking at the back of the packaging, you'll start to notice here is that the pictures really aren't very crisp on the back of this packaging. And you can even see the added space lines where you can kind of tell that it was photocopied because the image is actually shifted. While on a normal Figma packaging, this wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, you want to hand me that one, Steve, back there? You got a Figma box right here. 1 second, people.
While looking at the image on the back of the Ryuko box, everything looks nice. Crisp, there's no outlines to any of the images. Well, with Kirito, you can definitely see the difference. So initially that is the biggest way to tell that this is a bootleg right off the get-go. Other than looking inside the packaging, you kind of tell a couple of things are off just by the overall quality of the figure, but we actually are just going to get straight into it.
Let's do this. Now that we got Kirito out of his cardboard prison, we're going to go over his accessories first.
Yep, which he does actually come with a decent amount.
Alright, so first and foremost, we're going to start with the
most important collectible out of the packaging.
The Figma bag that comes with him. Yeah.
Just like Asuna, this is the only bag you get out of the packaging. Next.
There was a piece of plastic in there. Get it back. This is the Figma bag that Kirito should have came with right here, the original Figma bag.
Yeah, it's just a normal Ziploc bag.
Yep.
Nothing fancy, but still kind of want it. It's nice to hold the accessories in, which we sadly don't get.
Next, we got the Figma stand, which is
clearly missing the word Figma. Could just be me. I'm pretty sure every Figma action figure ever released has had a Figma on the stand.
But besides that, actually the stand is not that bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not quite the quality what we had with the normal stands, but overall, nothing too bad. But you're going to need it for him. And on his back, he actually has a peg hole right above his cheeks, which is where you're going to be pegging that bad boy into. You can also peg it up higher, but that's primarily for the sword holders.
Which we'll get into.
Yeah, which the stand does fit in there pretty decently. And you're probably going to need to actually kind of hold him upright because he's kind of thin. But it does do its job. It doesn't look bad. Also for the stand, it comes with this little accessory piece where you can stick it right on top of the stand here, which kind of gives him added posability if you want him into more like aerial poses. But for me, not really needed though. That it doesn't really stay on there very well anyways, so whatever.
So for the next one, we're going to go over the hands. Steve, you want to hand me the...
Yep, this is what the normal stand would generally look like that holds the hands. Even says Figma on it. You'll see it right there, right in the middle. We don't get that one with this one.
Nope. This is just standard and it's warped.
Yeah, it's a little fudged up.
A lot, and then you can see it's got some damage here, right here at the edge. So you can start to see right here where the problems begin with not being a Figma.
Yeah, you see the quality starts
Yeah.
taking on a lot of the stuff.
Alright, so we're going to take one hand off. And we're going to go over the details on these things.
Yeah, you can see that the paint quality doesn't quite hold up on the hands. You can even see where it's fading off towards the fingers. Looking at it from like a distance, it's not too bad. Like generally, when it's going to be on your figure, it's not going to be very noticeable.
But I mean, look at this. Like, there's a lot of paint job issues with this.
Yeah, like even looking at the other fist on this one, super bad. But then again, like the glove hands don't really look all that bad though.
So it's like hit and a miss, you know?
Yeah, like some of these look definitely a lot better than others.
Alright, so for the first sword, it's not that bad. It just looks like it's got a lot of wear and tear, like somebody had this before me.
Yeah, it looks like it's had some use. Also, had a lot of tape residue on it when we first got it out of the package.
So, but it's not that bad. Then we go to the sword.
Which I will say, the details for me don't look bad. They're wrong. Like, because the weapon that he should have came with should have had a gloss finish over top.
Plus, it's bent a little bit.
Yeah, like, hairdryer will fix it. Hairdryer in a book.
Steve doesn't see it, but I do. I'm a fan of this show, so I know what this should look like, and I'm telling you, it should not be like that. That is, whew.
Yeah, it's slightly off color compared to some of the other pictures I've seen. And there is a lot of imperfections in the paint job. But again, it's one of those, like, looking at it hardcore, it has some issues. Sitting back a little bit, though, not so bad.
But it actually fits in here, so that's a positive.
Yeah, so display-wise, like, in the sheath, it looks really nice.
And that's how it probably is going to be displayed.
Oh, yeah.
So for the next one, this one has a little better details on it. It's a little bit more cleaner than the previous one, which is not bad. And man, I got to be honest with you, dude. They're way off on these
I also
details.
like that. I'm not sure if the original was supposed to be translucent plastic, but at the hilt, you can see through it. And then they kind of painted over top of it, but it's not very well done. And then for the rest of the blade, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to have a gloss finish over top of it as well, but it's done in a matte. So it kind of, I don't want to say it has a NECA quality feel to it, but it's not quite up to what I would say Japanese figure standards are.
But it also fits perfectly in here. It's got the little edges on the side for the sword at the end.
Yeah, like in the sheath, it looks really fine. It's just him holding it in his hand. Not quite as great as I would like.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start with these two things.
Which these are his effects pieces for his swords. I'm pretty sure this is just a hunk of plastic, though.
Yeah, listen
It's
to
not
this.
even... Which, the original one came with something similar to these, except for, you can see it even with the plastic quality, there is a crap ton of scuff marks on it. Like, I'm pretty sure whoever made these just took a piece of plastic, spray painted it, and called it a day. 'Cause that's what it looks like. And then for the swords, when you put them into them.
Yeah, all right, we'll start with the one that actually fits first.
Yeah, like the sword actually fits into there.
When it fits in,
it's really, really loose though. Like, go to start turning it upside down. Yeah, it doesn't stay in there very well.
yeah, because the original one, it actually goes in, and then you can push it in to click it in, and it stays in there. While this is just...
Yeah, it has a really good grip to it.
Yeah, it just literally falls off. You can see in there, like the sword, just... Get it in it. Okay. Ah, there we go. Sword just...
Yeah, it literally just rests inside of it.
So, I don't know how I'm supposed to display this, like... And then look at this. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that one. And now we're going to go over my favorite one. Simple fact is...
That's as far as it goes.
It is supposed to go all the way. As if I pull it in closer, you can see that it's cut out to go all the way.
Yeah, but when you look at it through the light, and I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but there's like a hunk of plastic in there that's kind of impeding the sword from going all the way through. I also just hate how not clean of a finish that is over top of the part where they overlaid so that the sword could go into it. Like, that shows up really well.
Wait, okay, we should be recording
All right, hold
this.
on.
This is
all right,
gold
I'm trying. Hold on, Kirito, stand up, bro. Hands, stop trying to fall out of your places. All right, I'm just gonna let it go and see what happens. Ready?
We got this.
Yeah, I don't. All right, hold on. We'll try to do this serious. All right, so we got him upright. Taking the plastic.
Oh, sweet, dude. It comes with attack motion. They instantly fall down and attack.
Yeah, it's just battle action, man. Ready?
So he's like, ninja doing it like, okay, I get it. I got it.
Yeah, these things are worthless. Literally worthless.
At least for the bootleg.
Yeah, for the regular one, might be a little bit better. Maybe we could do... Alright, if you have it upright, I guess, like close to his body, like he's holding a flag, I guess that works. But, yeah, these things are garbage. Literal garbage.
Alright, now we're going to go over these little things, which is to hold the swords. You get one for the one sword. And you get two of them, so you can hold both swords. So this is really hard to put in, so it takes some finessing. Alright, now you can see stands out a little bit. Okay, so this is his one-handed sword. This is the original sword he has. So
yeah,
we're gonna
it's
put it
also
in.
the thinnest one we had. Oh, did you actually get it in farther?
Yeah, it's not going far. Okay, so as you can see, I'm bending it up here as I'm trying to push, and it's not going in. Pretty sure.
You can totally
reach it. So you can see the little issues we're having here. Okay, it's okay. We'll try the other one.
Yeah, we'll try it. Maybe the other one will work a little better.
Okay, so the thin one should be in the back, which
Oh, that went all the way in.
all the way in,
Alright.
because that's his primary, and this is his secondary. And are you kidding me? Okay, maybe we have this wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me try this.
Sometimes you just gotta try,
Okay, let me. We're pushing this down, people, as you can see.
Please don't break the peg.
All right, it's not going in.
This is a collectible, man. We gotta make sure this,
And oh my god.
Yeah, we'll just say, that's normal, right, guys? That's how it looks on the TV show? Pitch perfect, right? Yeah. Yeah. Sword! One way to fix that problem is if you got a hairdryer, you can heat up the plastic and warp it a little bit to fit the sheaths in. Not something you should have to do, but then again, since this is a fake toy, you're gonna have to deal with it.
But just to be warned, I'm assuming once you squeeze it in, it will be very hard to squeeze it out. So be careful with that. If you want those in there, just saying, be very careful.
That's what she said. Alright, taking the reins from Arnes from this review for a little bit, but for the head sculpt, it's actually not that bad. For the face, though, you can see here for his lips, they are not quite finished.
You want me to bring the marker, Steve?
Yeah, I think we need a Gundam marker for that
Now you gotta
face sculpt.
You gotta mention though, we've seen the original picture of this, and he actually has lips.
Yeah, he actually has lips, like his mouth actually looks kind of open. This is just straight up drawn on and not very well, so again, something else you might have to fudge up a little bit. And then for his hair, it has a black matte finish to it. It's a little bit of a lighter shade of black. And then how you swap out the face sculpt is the hair actually should come straight off. And then, God, the face wanted to attack me. The face is not sitting in there. Oh man, look at this. Looks like somebody pounded the plastic on the top of his face.
They did.
Oh, that looks kind of rough there. But anyways, then here's how he looks without his face on. But on a high note, unlike the Asuna, his hair actually sits in there pretty well. So he's already winning.
We have to tack the Asuna.
Yeah, we had to stick some sticky tack on the inside so it actually stayed on. And then we'll grab his, supposed to be his, I guess, bewildered face initially. Though this one looks like he's about to cry. Like he's about to be like, wah, why does nobody want to buy my actual real figure? Wah.
He's like, Asuna didn't make me a sandwich.
Wah.
He's going to school days, or
Yeah, he just looks really sad. I kind of like this one, actually. At least he has lips.
does he? Let me see.
Yeah, he actually has lips on this one.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, the eyes are actually painted pretty well. Like, this face isn't that bad, personally. And then we have him yelling, which, God, that looks goofy as shit.
I would say honestly what that looks like, but I can't.
Yeah.
Y'all use your imagination, you'll figure it
Kind
out.
of works. It won't. What the hell's wrong with his neck? Like, get down there. There we go. That looks a little better. Like, it looks like he's yelling for the most part. It kind of would have been nice to be able to see the teeth a little better because it kind of blends in with everything else. So when he's just looking at this, he's like, meh.
Don't make fun of Kirito.
You need some atomic breath. Just
Yeah, he does.
be perfect. But the paint job on there is actually not that bad either. So really, the only thing that kind of sucks is his original face. but his accessory faces really aren't that bad.
So in all reality, I want to keep it with the accessories face.
Yeah, I want to keep a sad face because he's not the real one, so it's kind of fitting. For the rest of his body details, though, the coat actually doesn't appear to be all that bad. Like, the line work actually is fairly decent for what it is. Like, you can see some of the white paint kind of coming out of the seams a little bit, especially on the top portion of the coat here.
That thing out in the back.
Oh, that's fine. There we go. And then moving around the rest of the coat. Like, his coat's actually in fairly decent shape. His arms aren't really all that bad. And then moving down to, I'm going to call it a skirt, or I guess the rest of the coat here, because it seems like a whole separate unit compared to the rest of it. Like, looking at it from the back, doesn't it look like he's wearing a long, like, dress skirt?
He has a skirt on, people.
Yeah, like, from the front, it's not so bad, although I like how I have his legs crossing, but from the back, it's not so bad. Except for the articulation for these things does not stay up at all. And you can see his tush right under there, yeah.
Now, before we get to this part, there's a reason why Steve wanted to do this section.
Yeah, okay, so moving on to the body here. The paint job for the shirt underneath is not that bad. Again, it has a matte finish, same kind of black that we have here for the coat, except for there's a little splotch paint up here on the undersection of the coat here, and same with over here on the other side. Now, you might notice that he looks like he has a little bit of a beer belly going, like a guts, if you will. Like he has like one of those like nerd pouches sitting on the front here. But on the original figure, it's supposed to be actually like folding of the cloth here. While on this actual figure, it's actually just flush to his skin. So now he looks like he's been sitting on the couch for way too long, playing way too many video games. Kind of like us.
He's got a fupa.
Because if you look under his coat, if I can move it up a little bit, he's super anorexic. Like, there's literally no plastic right there at all. Like, you can see me squishing it. Like, that's how thick it is. So, it looks like he has a pouch, but it's actually the way his body bends. Like, it has a really... Like, his body has a really contorted bend under there. And it's kind of fitting, but then if you line it up the way it's supposed to be, this is how you'd be standing on your shelf all the time.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way his body is designed for this figure. But if you want to have him standing upright, it looks like he has a beer belly or he's about to thrust into something. Like, he's like... like, you can put it in Michael Jackson pose. He's like... Hee hee. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Steve, you're breaking.
No. All right, so on a brief editor's note, notice when I was messing around with him doing pictures and whatnot, because you'll see his hands are clearly not in there right now, he actually was in backwards, which is the reason why he had that weird whole cock thrust crouch belly thing. So that's actually, technically was his butt. Because when I messed around and I popped him out and flipped him around, he actually had the cloth section on the under section. So essentially all I did was just pop him out from his section belly, which his head's going to pop off because that comes off pretty easy too. Because essentially what we were looking at was supposed to be his back section. And just how they had it shipped was like that. You'll notice why we were complaining. Such very thin, seemed kind of weird. But after tearing apart, his body type is actually fairly close to the original Figma. Which is going to be something you're going to notice with these bootlegs, is when they show up, you're probably going to have to fix a lot of stuff on the figures. And we're going to be making fun of that for the remainder of the video. But the rest of his legs details are not bad either. Just got the same matte finish over the rest of it. You got a little bit of detail here for the belt. And then for his boots are actually fairly nicely painted. So overall, like, the figure is actually... The paint job on it's not that bad. Other than the little dress thing here.
And a few lines missing here and there. Well,
yeah.
Not missing, just poorly painted.
Yeah, for the most part, it's not bad. Like, for 16 bucks, the paint job is actually a little bit impressive to me. For his articulation, though, his head can not really look up a whole lot because it gets in the way of the coat here. So that's about as high as you're going to get up in the articulation. You can move down about that far, which looks like that hurts.
Show the back. No, bend it down. Show the back.
And you can also see he has hair, which you can kind of fix that a little bit by pushing it down. So it's not so bad anymore. But then it pops back out when you want to lift up his head. He has a little bit of a head swivel, so you get a little bit of a shimmy. Can look side to side. For his arm, you can go about that far up, that far down. Can rotate all the way around. Just be careful because the ball joint likes to pop out. Has a rotation at the upper part of the shoulder. Has a bend at the elbow. rotation at the elbow. Has a rotation here at the hand. And his hand's on a hinge joint so it can swivel forward and back. For his waist is actually on 2 separate ball joints, because there's one here on the lower portion of his chest, so you get a little bit of articulation there. And then you also get some right here at the lower portion of his waist. Move a little bit forward, a little bit back.
Just so you know, that really looks disturbing from this angle.
I know, he's like, how's it going, ladies?
Hello,
ladies.
Give him a towel, Steve, hurry.
So likes to do the splits about that far. Can come in or inwards about that far. Has a fairly decent forward kick. Pretty nice back kick. Bend here at the knee, which actually is not that bad. Does not have a rotation at the knee though, but can rotate the upper part of the thigh. And then for his feet, can rotate all the way around and can move a little bit forward and a decent amount to the back. And a little bit of a pivot side to side. And also for a skirt thing here, whenever you're moving things around, it kind of just goes wherever the hell it feels like. And it's also very loose and very flimsy. So this part, while articulated, does not stay in positions very well. And for some quick comparison, here we have our bootleg Figma Kirito compared next to the bootleg Asuna. And here's some other bootlegs with the Furyu Akino from High School DxD and the bootleg Beach Queen Supersonico. And here's some real Figma figures with the Figma Guyver Unit 1 and Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill. And here is compared next to the SX Monster Heisei Godzilla, cause why not?
My overall thoughts, to be honest with you, is I wish I would have bought the legit one now.
Yeah, anytime we've ever gotten these bootlegs, I feel like it just would have been more worth your time just to get the legit one. Especially if you really want a nice, good version of the character.
I invested $16.09 into this guy. I got free shipping out of it, which is kind of cool. But still, I should have just ponied up the other $40 and got the legit one, man. Like, looking at this kind of depresses me as a representation of one of my favorite shows, Sword Art Online. This guy is just something else, man. Like, oh.
No, for someone like me that is not as huge of a fan of Sword Art Online, for $16, this doesn't seem horrible. Because, granted, some of these accessories are throwaways, like, they're rubbish. But if you compare them to a lot of stateside figures, like, say we compare it to Playmates, or even some of the Marvel Select Black Series figures that come out, they don't really come with a whole lot. The details are there, but not as crisp as some might want it to be. And that's just what this figure feels to me. It feels like a cheap, more standard American action figure, and not a high-quality Japanese figure that is originally what this is supposed to be.
But, taking away that this is not a Sword Art Online figure, the figure itself, man, this is 10 out of 10. For $16, what I bought is I got a guy that can thrust forward. He knows what he's doing. His face expressions are amazing. Swords are a little lackluster because I can't put him in back. And I can't have his special attack or the movement of the sword, sticking in with him. It's a little bummer. But overall, the figure itself, taking out the Sword Art Online part, is amazing, man.
Yeah, for me, I'd say if you can get them for less than $15, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the end, we still really, really recommend you just get the legit Figma one if you really want a nice representation of Kirito in your collection.
The thing is, be careful when you're buying this. Even on eBay, I have seen people, and that's where I got this from, eBay, is they're selling these fake ones for the price of the legit one. Especially from United States. What people do is they would buy these from Japan as a fake ones, and they would sell them from US for the regular price. You would think that you will get the original one, but what you do end up is getting is a bootleg. And I've seen a lot of people comment on our last video of Asuna of the same thing. They would order them from United States and it would be the fake one, but they would pay the legit
or
price.
even they just didn't pay attention quite to what the shipping was on eBay. Because granted, pretty much the best way I could say it is if you really want this character, just generally go and buy it from a legit shop. Like Ami Ami, you have Hobby Link Japan, Big Bad Toy Store, any of those kind of shops. Even Amazon, because usually Amazon, if it's the Chinese version, it'll say it in the description. So you're not going to be fooled, and generally it'll be cheaper anyways. Then the figure is just way cheaper than what you generally expect to pay for it.
Yeah,
It might not be real.
If it's too good to be true, it probably is, trust me.
But what do you guys think? Would you guys buy this bootleg figure? Would you guys prefer the Figma one or Sword Art Online just not your thing, like me? Please let us know in the comments. We'll have a closer picture of this guy on Facebook. You want to click the link description below. Ow! Ernest just hit me. Help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button,
hitting a
subscribe to
Steve.
the Ranger today, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.